forget to do that. Okay, I know lots of people are jumping on. I know we have lots of time zones here, so people will catch the recording, but I am so excited to welcome Danielle to the call tonight. So I coined Danielle like my sister coach today on the team page when I was talking about this call, because you guys will not believe how much we have in common. Like, it's insane. We are both retired hairstylists. We have both lost 80 pounds with Beachbody. We are both to be mindset junkies. We are both 5-star, like in the 5-star page. Like, we love what we do. I don't know. We both have great hair. Like, it's all there. So we have got to know each other over the last couple years, of course, being in the 5-star thread. We chatted back and forth, and we finally kind of connected, and we're trading calls. So I'm super pumped to have Danielle come and just share with us what she has done for the last 7 years as a coach. She has hit Success Club for 84 months in a row. So if you are not that great at math, that means this girl has hit Success Club every single month she's been a coach. So that is amazing. It is awesome. I can't wait for her to share all her stuff with us. And I'm just going to pass it off to you.
Oh, that's so great, Michelle. Thank you so much. And you're right. We totally are sister coaches. And I want to thank you guys. And first of all, thank you for inviting not just myself, but my team to this awesome call as well, because my team has not heard from me in a while. And you'll figure out why. I'm going to kind of tie it all into my story. And so I'm going to start right away with thanking you for that. And, you know, Michelle is going, everybody's going to see Michelle on our team call, same bad time, same bad channel next week. Okay. Cause she's got some amazing stuff on connecting, having that conversation that she's going to share with us. I've been prompting them for this, Michelle, ever since you did that call for the 5 stars. Okay, guys. So I'm going to come right out of the woodwork and tell you right now that if you think I'm going to share some sort of profound secret, if you think that I'm going to share some trick or something that, you know, enables me to magically make Success Club 10 for, you know, 7 years straight in a row, I'm not. Because newsflash, this business is simple and there's no secret. And so coming into that, I really want to talk to you about what I've done consistently, that being the key word. And, you know, a lot of this is probably things you already know, things Michelle has already talked to you about, shared with you, but sometimes just hearing it from somebody else or a different perspective, like, no offense, but I mean, like, how many times have you, like, no offense, because I said to Michelle, please share this with my team because they just don't listen to me anymore. And it's not because they don't love me. It's just, you know, when you're like your parent or your sister told you not to wear that purple shirt all the time. And all of a sudden you go out and, you know, your best friend says, you know what, that purple shirt is just not flattering on you. You should wear your red one. And all of a sudden you stop wearing that purple shirt. It's just like that, right? It's innocent. It's just human nature. So I am going to share with you how I got started in this business so that you can kind of find perspective over how easy this business is, because I want you guys to have so much success and so much belief and know what this business can do. Okay. First of all, let's talk about time. I relate everything back to parenting and everything back to our fitness journey, which are also the two most important things that we do in our life, okay? And those things are time related, and time is going to pass. So whether you dial in your nutrition, whether you finish that 21 days, whether you, you know, put all that effort into your parenting or have, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to do, goal in your life, time is going to pass, whether you focus in on that or not. And the same thing goes with this business. So you can be in it 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, 7 years today. Because if you guys didn't know, any Canadians who are on the call today, 7 years ago was the very first day that Beachbody coaches were allowed to be Canadians. And I was like, refresh, 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 refresh. I didn't understand Pacific Standard Time because I didn't even know what a podcast was. I didn't know what personal development was. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have social media. I didn't have a flip phone. I had a peanut phone, peanut phone. I don't know if even some of you guys are old enough to have a peanut, like to know what the peanut phone is. You couldn't even text on that thing. Okay. So, and I became diamond in 90 days. I had an upline who had a great training system that was all self-guided. Nobody was checking on me. Nobody was going to come and tell me I wasn't doing this, or going through my social media, or telling me that I needed to tweak this or do that. When we started this business, it was trial and error. If there's a will, there's a way. And so I really want to impress upon you guys the will, because you have the way. You have so many tools. I actually love that I'm talking today as the new modified coach training was launched today in the back office. If you haven't gotten a chance to go and take a look at it, I was looking at it and listening to those simple videos. It takes 22 minutes and 36 seconds or something for a new coach to get all the training they need to get started in their first 2 weeks. So we've really simplified everything, and I think gone back, and Michelle can probably agree with this, to a lot of our old ways where you just got out there and started doing. Jump in with your feet, totally wet. You are not going to know anything. This is an on-the-job training. Okay, so it's not like you go and you get your PhD and then somebody hands you a paycheck. It's PhD training. It's on-the-job training. Okay, so back then when I started, I did not know what Success Club was. I was making Success Club 10 and I didn't know what it was. I still couldn't comprehend what it is. No offense to any of you blondes out there. I dye my eyebrows. I dye my hair. I'm a natural level 8. Michelle knows what that is. I had no idea. My sponsor, when she would answer me, would try to send me messages, send me trainings to tell me what Success Club was. I still didn't get it. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh my gosh, these programs and products have changed my life. I need everybody to do them. And I need to get this stuff in their hands so that they can feel and see and have the same results that I had. I'm just helping people." She said, "Keep helping people." She said, "Keep helping people." To the point where I actually earned, I think I was one of the only Canadians who earned the very first, we went to Disney in 2013, Walt Disney World, for the Success Club trip. It was awesome. And of course, Canadians just started in October. So we only had 3 months to get going in October, right? So there was a stipulation in there that new Canadian coaches would get a chance to go if they earned 50 or more Success Club points between October, November, and December. And remember, I still don't know what a Success Club is. I don't know how to check it in my back office. I had no idea what I was doing, but I needed to help as many people as possible. And that's what I want to tell you. Imagine if I didn't continue to push and push and push and save those 2 Success Club points or whatever. And, the things that we kind of sometimes do, and I'm all guilty of it as well. But I got 52 Success Club points in those 3 months, and I was eligible to go meet Carl Deichler, work out at Epcot with Shanti. I thought, this is back in my Turbo Jam days, guys, where there was 2 flavors of Shakeology, chocolate and greenberry. There was no such thing as vegan, okay? So old school, grandfather. And I couldn't even believe it. And I had to have somebody tell me that I earned that trip as well. So the reason I kind of talk to you guys about this and share this part of my story with you is because I really think getting back to the basics of why we're coaches is so important. Okay. Yes, it's important to follow this incredible, simplistic tracker. It's everything. It's everything. I went through it tonight before I got on the call. Okay. Even 7 years into the business, I still do the same things. And to really figure out the passion, what made you want to become a coach. Maybe you started as a customer. Maybe you got those amazing results. Whatever it is, I want you to constantly, along with your personal development every day, really connect with that why of helping people, and you know, and let that drive you, because that's where your passion is never going to run dry. Your passion will never run dry if you stay connected to why you want to be a coach and along those lines. I'm not going to listen anytime throughout my 7 years where I have, like, even this year, there was a period where I was like in a funk, right? Anybody ever been in a funk with their business where you just don't feel like you'll do your workout and stuff, but you're like, I don't want to help anybody today? Do you ever feel like you're just too tired to like really connect or care on those days? And it's because you're probably, back it up, not being consistent with your vital behaviors, not being consistent with your personal development, not really connected or recently connected with your why and the passion that drove you to this business in the first place. Okay. And you know what? My husband recognizes that in me all the time. And he'll say to me, stop with the numbers, stop with the rank, stop looking at the top 10 coaches, because it doesn't matter what they're doing. Remember why you started this. Okay. And so that kind of segues me into the next part of what I want to share with you guys. Okay. So I made a couple of guys, honestly, I would have had nice pictures and slideshows and everything, but I'll tell you a little bit what's happened in my life. Not for empathy, sympathy, or anything else, just to prove to you that you can do whatever you put your mind to. A lot of times people think, like, how many people, like, you guys have probably, other than my people and Michelle and probably Megan, because she's on the calls all the time, don't know who I am. Like, my name is not in the top 10. Yes, myself and there's 5 of us on our team who are in the top 30 in Canada, but you probably don't recognize my name or their names, and they're all doing really well and have successful businesses and are making income and are doing all of the things. Okay. So sometimes we get distracted by shiny things. And I was up in Ottawa. I was invited by Courtney Laverge down here in the corner, or wherever she is in your corner here. She's on the Ottawa Market Council. And this is what I spoke about last October at the Ottawa Super Saturday. And it's that you don't have to be top 10's awesome. Whoa, super accolades to them. So impressed, so inspired, the work that goes into that. But you don't have to be top 10 in order to be successful. You don't have to have your name on every wake-up call in order to be working this business and making changes, earning an income, changing your own life, leading a great team, and doing all those things. Okay? I love recognition. I'm a middle child. Validate me. Tell me I'm good. Tell me you love me. Pat me on the back. Give me a free backpack. Whatever it is. I love my bobbleheads. All of the things. But you know what? You don't need any of that in order to be successful. You don't. It's awesome. It's bonus. Everybody loves to see their names up in light. But know that there's 3,449 whatever other coaches in this network who aren't in the top 10, who are still making income, building a business, just changing their lives and the lives of other people. Okay? Because sometimes we get all caught up with that, and we think that that is such a huge, it's only those people that are going to do well. And that seems so far away from where we might be today, right? And it seems a little overwhelming and out of touch. Okay, first of all, you can do anything you put your mind to, but you don't have to. Success doesn't mean that you need to be that top coach or 15-star coach. Are you guys noticing that a lot of the coaches who are having the bigger incomes and are further up in the elite ranks and stuff, they're not always 15-star diamond coaches? Some of them are 8-star coaches, just 8-star diamonds, 5-star diamonds, because as important as rank is, like, and all of those things work together, it just proves that you can be super successful. I have one of my coaches on my team, so 2 down below, so not my coach, but my coach's coach, who has surpassed my income. Huge. That is huge. First of all, I talk about that all the time when I'm recruiting people to the business, because I need them to know the potential. Okay. And in order to have that success on my team, to me, that means that, we've got a great team. We've got great leadership, mentorship, all of that stuff. Right. So I want you guys to, wherever you are and wherever you want to be in the next 100 days, the next 3 months of 2019, know that you could totally be there. You don't have to be, in the top 25 in the country, in the company, in order to have a successful 2019. Does that make sense? Okay. So I really like to say that to people because consistency is key. Okay. So 7 years in the business. Michelle, how many years have you been in the business? Almost the same.
5.5.
5.5 years in the business, right? This is the thing. Consistency is key. Time is going to pass anyway. So what you do with these 5 years, what you do with these 7 years, with these 5 months, all of that is up to you. And the more consistent you are, all of a sudden you show up and it's October 1st, 7 years later, and you're like, holy crap. Imagine if I quit. Where would I be now? Imagine if I stopped being consistent. Where would I be now? And then you're going to look back on what you've done and the promises you've kept to yourself and to your business, and you're going to be stoked. You're going to be so glad that you did. Just like your fitness. Just you can't stop being a parent and you can't stop taking care of your body, right? You have to continuously do that. Not every day is a win in the parent. Every day is not a winning. You can't be a winning parent every day. You can't. You're not supposed to be. You're human. Same with your health and your nutrition and everything else, okay? But you never quit. You never, never, never quit, okay? Okay, my mom has been delivering, she's 70 years old. She has been delivering babies since she was 22 years old. So what's the math on that? 48 years she's been delivering babies, okay? She's awesome, to the point where people are like trying to hold those babies in and trying to figure out when my mom's like, got a shift going, okay? And my mother always said, you would never just wake up 9 months pregnant or you'd fall on your flippin' face. Smack, right? You'd never just wake up one day and boom, you're 9 months pregnant. Your equilibrium would be off. It's too much for your body to handle. You grow with a pregnancy. And when you guys are starting as a new coach or starting mentoring your new coaches as you bring them into the business, I love to use this analogy of pregnancy because your gestation is what, 40 some weeks? I don't know. I've never actually had a baby from my own body. I should know this. 40 weeks? 40? Anyway, 41, something like that. So you guys want to be growing every single week, correct? Because it's really scary if you go to the doctor and they're like, wow, you haven't grown from week 20 to 24. You want to continuously be growing a little bit each week. You have the book that says the baby is the size of a grape, and then it's the size of all of the things going up the way, right? And you are like, cool, I'm seeing my baby grow. Your business is your baby. You never want to see that baby not grow from week 20 to 24. You never want your September to look like the end of your October. Does that make sense? Because that is not growth. At the same time, you can't expect your business in your first 6 months, year, to look like Michelle's business or my business or somebody else's business, because you don't wake up 9 months pregnant or you'd fall on your face. You can't start with 200 invites a day your very first week. It's going to be overwhelming. You're not going to have systems in place in your life, all of these sort of things, okay? You have to realize that slow and steady wins the race, but you have to consistently be growing. So it doesn't mean that you can only do 5 invites for 5 years and get to your goals. Maybe you can, but you need to grow slowly and think of it as a pregnancy. Think about it. What did I do this week? Did I grow this baby? Did I grow this baby? Or is this baby, did I nurture it? Did I do all the things? Makes sense, right? When you think about it that way. Because it's a life, and it's your life, and it's your amazing thing that you have that connects you to your tribe, that is something that creates so much financial freedom, time freedom, no matter what your why is. I'm telling you, I don't know what I would do without this business. Okay, I'm going to tell a personal story. Okay, I lost my mother-in-law less than a week ago, very suddenly, very tragically. Okay, I started off with my base, what I do for myself, not as a new coach, but as a new, so glad you love the pregnancy analogy. My baseline is always SC20. I usually do between 30 and 40 is what I like to do when I'm really rocking it and I'm really into my business. But of course, SC10 is non-negotiable for me. I started off September with -2. Thank you, Stacy. With -2. Minus flippin' 2. I was like, oh, frig. Okay, it's okay. I got this. September, I got you, September. And then we had a hurricane where I physically was holding my French doors, and my father was physically holding my body because the wood in between broke, and if I didn't keep them closed, they were going to blow open in the 155-kilometer winds. We had no water, no power, no internet, power lines down in our yard for, I don't know how many days we stayed in a hotel room. And a hotel room that I paid $400 a night for, and the Wi-Fi didn't work in my room. It was crazy. It was a crazy way to start. And here I am trying to run the business, right? Okay, so I got 2 dogs, myself and my husband, in a hotel room, and I'm trying to run my business. Okay, managed to get my business up to SC 14. 14? Yeah, so it really should have been 16 because I did make up those 2. We come home, we sleep in our own bed for not even a week, and we get a phone call on Friday night that my mother-in-law had a major aneurysm, gone, right in the mall, and this was just last week, okay? We rush home. She's on life support. That was another ordeal for 3 or 4 days, around the clock, no sleep. Dogs in the hotel room. We would just go to the hotel room to feed the dogs. I open up my Coach Online office. I had another return. I'm down to SC8. I'm like, what the AF? Are you kidding me? Can I take from a month that I had 65 and just put, and this is like at the very last month of my 6th year? Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, are you actually kidding me right now? And I was like, I've got to work my business. So what did I do? I went back and I followed up. I followed up with the 3, 4, you all probably all have them right now, 3 or 4 carts that are out there where people never really went through with their order. You don't want to bother them. You don't want to bug them. You've already followed up with them a little while ago. For some reason, they're not, you're like, why? We went through it. I had the conversation. They were ready to go. What happened? And I followed up because my mother-in-law would be so pissed at me if I threw away my last month of my 6th year because of that family tragedy. And I got my SC10. I got my SC10 and I finished off my last month with my SC10. But I'm not saying that to be like, look at me, or empathy or sympathy or anything else. But the reason I want to tell you guys this is because I need you to understand that success in this business means never breaking those promises to yourself. You have to be connected to your why and be committed to your business. I can't remember, was it something I was watching today, or I think it was in the new training? Are you interested in this business, or are you committed to this business? And you are the only person who can answer that. Because if you are committed to this business and you want this business to work, no matter who is visiting your house, no matter what is going on with you personally, you are going to make your business a priority. So yeah, no, I didn't get 40 Success Club points, but I made my minimum. Does that make sense? And so I want to really impress that upon you guys, because we all have every excuse in the world to not show up, because nobody's come. Like, do you ever see that one by Mel Robbins, How to Parent Yourself? Nobody's coming. She always says, nobody's coming, nobody's coming. I'm like, damn, I wish somebody would come and just kick me in the butt some days. But nobody is coming. Our tribe is there though, right? But there's not one person in this in my tribe who would say to me, oh, Danielle, I can't believe you didn't get SC10 on this month, where you were really only home for like 5 nights and like had power for like 2 of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, honestly. And really that's what we need, but that's oftentimes not the type of people we have around us, because we love each other and we're a little kumbaya-ish. So we have to be that person in our own life who doesn't want to break a promise to ourselves. And that's the kind of consistency that, like I said, isn't getting me top 10, but is making sure that I'm building a business, and that you guys are all building a business long term, where you have that residual income, you're building your team, and you're constantly growing. Sorry, my dog is slurping up some water over there. And you're constantly growing that pregnancy. You're keeping it going. Does that make sense? And that's what I really want to share with you guys today. I have a couple other things I could touch on, but I feel like I've talked too long. Do you guys have any questions or anything in particular that I can answer or touch on, other than the importance of consistency and personal development? Oh my God.
Yeah, ask away, you guys. This is your chance to ask questions, anything. I love the pregnancy analogy, and we just have one more thing in common. I have never actually given birth either, so I can't really do that whole thing, but this business evolves. Like, I use the word evolve all the time, because I evolved from yesterday. Like, I know something more today than I did yesterday. So if you have just started, you know something more than someone you're talking to, and you just have to find confidence in that and keep pushing every single day, and know that when you do that, you can have this incredible business that, unlike a pregnancy, you've done by yourself. And that's something pretty effing, like, be proud of that. Yeah. You grew this thing from absolutely nothing, because none of us go to Beachbody University, because I didn't go. We figure it out with trial and error, and trying this and discovering this on our own, and maybe getting help with this, but really you do it on your own, and you evolve every single day to this businesswoman, this entrepreneur. And you can be so proud every day that you push and you keep going, because in any business, it's not easy. Like, there's parts of every single day that aren't great. But the success is amazing when you know that you've done it and you've kept at it and you've pushed through. And it's just so unfortunate for Danielle and I to see people with so much
potential.
Potential, and just because they had a couple bad months or a couple bad days, or it got so overwhelming. Well, guess what? Like, parenting's overwhelming. My marriage is overwhelming some days. When I lost my dad, that was overwhelming. Like, like overwhelming is going to come all the time. So you have to just push through that to the good parts. And there's going to be a lot of good parts if you keep consistent in something like this. Like, oh my God, life-changing parts. Like, I'm sure Danielle is so glad she's not still snipping hair like I am.
No, oh my gosh, it was like either do push-ups or snip hair. And you know what looks better? The push-ups. Do you know what I mean? Like I did push-ups for the first time today in 2 weeks. Because ironically before this, because of the stress of the hurricane and holding those doors, my like naturopath was like, you have manifested stress inside your body and you have like adrenal flu. And I was like, what the? She was like, yoga retreat. And I love the yoga retreat, but I love it, but I don't love it. I need to jump up and down. Do you know what I mean? So you're so right. And I mean, to be able to have that freedom, guys, the potential. And it's so true because every single person has a shit storm. Everybody has a shit basket that you're carrying right now. Courtney's looks one way, Sandra's looks another way, Lauren's looks another way. It doesn't matter. Everybody is busy. Everybody's got something, whether it's physically something going on, mentally something going on. Every single person has something that they're dealing with. It's just, you know, you have to just push past that, like Michelle said. You really honestly do. I quit smoking 13 years ago, and everybody asks me, because I never met a cigarette I didn't like. Oh my God, Benson & Hedges, 100 Slims, oh my gosh. I love smoking, and I smoke at least a pack a day. And everybody says to me, what kept you away from smoking? It was so hard to quit. It was so hard to quit. I never want to start over. And the same thing goes with my business. I will not quit my business because getting that momentum as a new coach is the hard part. And nobody ever told me at the beginning that it gets easier. Well, it doesn't get easier, we get better. Just like those push-ups. Like I started doing push-ups not for my knees. For 230 pounds, I did mine from the wall. Okay? And then I went to the ground. And then it was just this year, guys, I've been working out for 12 years that I started pounding out push-ups from my toes consistently after 12 years. And that's the thing. I never want to stop. I never want to start over with my fitness journey. I never want to raise another 20-year-old again. Did that, got my badge of honor. But, and I never want to start smoking again because I don't want to start over with the quitting process. And the same thing goes with your business. Nobody was there to tell us that it gets easier. And I use this analogy a lot too, guys. Sorry if this bathroom humor is a little crass. I'm right off the cuff. But how many times did you go to the bathroom today? How many times did you honestly, consciously grab the toilet paper, did your stuff? No, you didn't. You went to the bathroom. Before you know it, you're washing your hands. You don't know if you grabbed the toilet paper. You don't know what you don't know if you flushed. Of course you flushed. It's automatic. Of course you grab the toilet paper. It's automatic. You're doing it. These are automatic behaviors. I was going to say like brushing your teeth, but we consciously remind ourselves to brush our teeth. If you're like me, I'm like, brush your teeth, Danielle, before you go to bed, brush your teeth. You know, I wait for my coffee, then I brush my teeth. But you don't, when you go to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom, you do what you do because you do it so many times a day. It's routine. You've been doing it for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Your business is the same way. When I fill out my business activity tracker, I have to be mindful to fill it out because throughout the day, I'm doing all of these behaviors on autopilot, just like grabbing for that toilet paper. I don't tell myself, now it's time to grab the roll. Make sure you get 4 squares. Bundle it up nicely, just so. No, you just do it. You just do it. And that's what happens. You just do it. You just do it. And then it doesn't become work. It's a part of your routine. It's part of your autopilot. And you get to find more joy, more flexibility, and more just freedom within the business because those new vital behaviors are now your vital habits. Does that make sense? Yeah. I think that's the last thing I want to do. Do what you're passionate about, share it. Yeah, one last thing, peel the onion. So this is what, peel the onion. I'm all about analogies here. Peel the onion. So your leader, Michelle, is amazing at peeling the onion. So if you're ever looking for inspirations on how to post or how to share your story in a positive way with a positive spin and being real, oh my gosh, right? Like, you guys, look at your amazing leader. That's what it's about. It's not about the highlight reel. It's not about Debbie Downer crying into your Instagram stories either. But it's about being real, and it's about being true, and it's about sharing everything that's happening, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and having a positive spin on it. Yes. Okay, Stacy, what's your favorite PD book? You asked me that. Sorry, Stacy, I got a little bit squirreled. My favorite PD book is, I'm a big fan of Rachel Hollis. I'm also a really, really, really big fan of podcasts. Okay, Rachel Hollis mentor. Oh my God, I can't believe. I'll pull him up on my phone. I have made, he is what I've been listening to as of late. And he is her mentor. And he has Ed Milet. The Ed Milet show is what I've been doing lately. Okay, he's awesome. And he's this big, I'm a bit of a sexist. Not a sexist. I just really like women. I don't take direction well from men. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I like him. He's not like, I find there's so many great information out there with men, but I don't absorb it very well because of my own issues, hearing it from a man's point of view. Ed Milet is not that way. He is Rachel Hollis's. So diving deep into Rachel Hollis is what I love. Girl, wash your face, girl, stop apologizing. And then I got onto Ed Milet from him. If you are a new coach, you have organizational skills. I always like the good old fashioned Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Okay, that really, really helped me. I'm not an organized person. And then the compound effect or the slight edge is something really, really great to kind of start, getting that idea of seeing what is possible with a business like the business that we have, and getting yourself to look and dream bigger, think bigger. The one thing I'm going to say about personal development is I think sometimes it's more important than exercising. And I'm an exercise freak because I do it for mental health. I think if you aren't doing it every single day, even on your days off that you don't work your business, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? I'm telling you. And this is from a person who read nothing but 50 Shades of Grey before this. My husband was like, do you remember how good our love life was when you were reading 50 Shades of Grey? I'm like, too bad. I just ordered them. Kim Carver has a new book out too. Kim Carver from Corporate. He has a new book. I just ordered it on Amazon today. 5 ways to, anyways. And I'm getting into Gabrielle Bernstein's new one as well. Okay, squirrel. What I'm going to say, Stacy, is personal development, I could go on and on about, but the most important thing for you to do with personal development is the kind of personal development you need to be reading. Because the kind that Stacy needs, or Julie needs, or Michelle reads, or Sarah reads, or Brendan reads, they could be similar, but that also we need to, if you need help with leadership or organization or mindset or belief, you need to find that PD that's going to help you with that, not necessarily what is most popular or the new release or what have you. Does that make sense? Not everybody can wear orange.
I so agree with that. I believe that the personal development you need is the stuff you don't want to read.
Like the 10X rule, that one I needed so bad.
Yeah, like I would love to like read Rachel Hollis until I'm blue in the face, but like once you've read one of the books, ladies, that's enough. You need, if you've never run a business before, You need to read business building books. You need to know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. You need to know, you have to get some confidence around that stuff. As soon as you fill your stuff with information you don't already have, you are going to feel so good about talking about the business. Shakeology. How many people are crapping their pants when they have to talk about Shakeology? If you just spent one day on YouTube researching Shakeology, for the rest of your career, you will feel so good about talking about Shakeology. Confidence is built by information. It's built by being proactive in your own business and figuring out what you need. So yeah, like all those fluffy books, like Don't Give a Fuck book and all that stuff. I love it. Don't get me wrong. Like my girls will be laughing because I have like 4 books on the go all the time. Affirmations, and then I have a business book, but I need those at different times because I waver. Like some days I wake up and my confidence sucks. So I'm like, okay, I need to get into Rachel Hollis. She needs to pump me up today. And then the next day I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out how to be a better leader today. So I go to a business book. But a lot of those things that you need aren't the books that you're going to gravitate towards at chapters. It's the stuff that is going to be building your confidence that's so, so important. It's not necessarily the popular selections.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. And most people, like Michelle said, do have more than one book on the go, or a book and a podcast, or what have you, right? And somebody said, I love Built to Last is a great one, Darlene. You're absolutely right. What are some good business PD books? Natalie, I love when it comes to the 10X rule is good, but once again, don't love his personality. His info's awesome though. So I hope you get some value out of that one, 10X. But anything by John Maxwell is really good for leadership, belief in leadership, stuff like that. He's one of my favorites, John C. Maxwell, for business building. Built to Last, like Darlene mentioned, is actually by a Beachbody coach. I can't remember his name. I have it. Keith Callahan, yeah. And Go Giver, Brenda is saying there's so many out there. So the best thing to do is use this incredible thing called a Google machine. Okay. I open it up. I talk to mine because my fingers aren't really good to work. And if you ever see me use I'm that person from Wine Country. I'm the one on Wine Country. Period. Exclamation point. Could you please tell me a personal development book? Because I suck at whatever. I say I suck at a personal development book, and they will come up. It will come up, whatever it is for you to do. But I totally am so glad, Michelle, you mentioned that you have more than one going at the same time.
And YouTube, like you guys, we built this business on Google and YouTube. Like we didn't have even this.
Yeah.
When I was getting ready to go to work for my 12-hour days, I was doing my hair and makeup and watching like Andrea Crowder and Melanie Mitchell on my phone teaching me Beachbody. Like I then drove to work and listened to the podcast. Like I really submerged myself in everything I could get my hands on. And then little bits would sink in here and there. And I would say, oh, okay, I'm going to try that today. And maybe it worked, maybe it didn't, but you just kept going and you just kept learning. And you can't just wait around for your upline to give you the next steps, because we're running our own, like no offense, but we're running our own businesses too, right? Like we're mentoring a big team, but we're also like, we got shit of our own to do. So we all have to do that. We all have to be proactive in our own businesses. And Google, like I am a grad of Google University, like no other university has this girl been to, but Google is my jam. Like it's taught me everything I know in my hair salon, in my salon and spa business, and this one too. It's having the determination to do it every single day. And that's all it is, consistency. It's the favorite word, but it's the truth. That's what gets you to the whatever you want to do in this business.
Consistency and resourcefulness.
Yep.
And and that's the thing, we're not like being like da 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 da. We're just like, oh my gosh, you guys have this already inside of you. That's why we're talking to you guys like this. I'm an old lady who's been in the business forever. I call myself the Beachbody dinosaur. Do you know what I mean? The Canadian dinosaur. And that's the thing, is like, honest to God, it is inside of you. It's inside of you. If this is your first day, if you've been in it for a year, if you've been in it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, everything you need is inside of you. And all you need to do is have the will, because the way is there. The way is there. Honestly, you have to have that unwavering will that you are never going to break that promise to yourself, that you are going to work this business and you're going to make this happen for you. Can I mention one more thing before I let you guys go? How many parents are here? Okay. So I remember when I had the parent guilt. Okay. Because I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't have the stuff. Like, my mother's 70 and her Instagram game is hard. My mother, like, I am telling you, I don't even have, like, anyway, I just manage, okay, with social media and technology. So I didn't know what a podcast was. They had these things these podcasts I get, or they were recorded calls, these grainy recorded calls from like Danny, what was her name? I want to say Danny Spies, but she's clean and delicious recipes. Danny, she's a massive MLM. Danny Johnson. Thank you, Brenda. Danny Johnson. Okay. These grainy 1.5 hour telephone calls, because that's how they did things back then. There wasn't Zoom, there wasn't video, there wasn't anything. And so she was in multi-level marketing. She would tell her story about how her kids were living in her car, and she was making phone calls out of a phone booth to do whatever sales job that she was doing, and now she's like a multi-billionaire. Okay. And she was doing these calls, and I couldn't even get them on any device. So I had one of the big computer screen, the big ones with the deep, okay? And I would bring it and I would plug it in to the phone jack, dial up, okay, in my bedroom, because my family, I lived in a 900 square feet house, up and down, and the basement was a salon. Okay, while video games were loudly being played, and I was in my closet because I didn't know how to work the podcast or the call from any other device other than the great big tube computer screen. Okay, and I remember crying because I was like, I cannot do this every night after a 12-hour day on my feet, working, being a mom, being a wife, being a hairstylist, which, is also very giving, because you're giving of yourself mentally and physically, and then I was like, I just have to have a little cry, and I just have to keep going, because I'm not giving up. There's so many times you're going to feel like that, especially when you're newer in the business, but you cannot give up. Okay. Then I would get the mom guilt from my son. Okay. And there's no reason I gave so much to my son. Okay. I have no regrets with how I raised my son. I gave him time, attention, love, everything. I mean, oh my gosh, I gave him the best, anyways, I gave him everything. I just loved on him. I cast him as Rizzo in Grease because he knew that all the girls got the best songs. Do you know what I mean? All of the things. And I often think now, when I barely get a text back from him at 22 years old, imagine if where would he be now? He's got his own life, separate from us, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with us, okay? Because he knows that, do you remember being 22? Okay, right? Assholes, okay? So imagine if I let that mom guilt stop me from running the business. First of all, I created a life for him in those years that followed that he would have never had, opportunities he would never have because of the financial. Okay. And then here, as an empty nester, imagine if I let that sway me from my goals of my business. This business has saved my husband and I in every form of the way. So I know a lot of times you guys might feel that mom guilt, but I need you to know that what you're doing is super important, not only for your family, but for the people that you're helping, but it's also a legacy that you're creating for yourself. You are important. You deserve to have this for yourself because you're always going to be a parent, but you're not always going to be a mommy. Does that make sense? You're going to be a human again, I promise. Okay. So I wanted to share that part of my story with you guys as well, because I always think, imagine if I gave in to that mom guilt of, you know, the stuff. You know, we all go through it. It's normal. It's human.
So good. And I think so many people go through that, especially in the beginning when you're not necessarily seeing big success and you're working really hard and you know, maybe your family did support you at the beginning, but they thought it was just going to like blow up and you were going to be in the top 10 in like a month. Like everyone has these ridiculous ideas when they become a part of a business like this. Like it's just going to be like skyrocket, where you would never think that in a normal job. Like you would never, ever, ever think we're going to get to the top of the corporate ladder in 1 month. But people join direct sales and they think, so you might have had people support, but then they start like weaning off because they see the time it's taking. They maybe see the money that you're putting into it. And they don't want you to fail, right? But so then it seems to you like the support isn't there. But that's when you have to dig in even deeper. You have to dig in more and know and believe. You have to believe it, you guys. You have to like feel it in your soul that you can see the success. Like before I was making any money or hitting any ranks, I saw myself doing it. I knew I was going to. There was no question. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I knew it was going to happen. Like envisioning, manifesting, that shit is real. And you have got to believe it that strongly. And that's what gets you through. And that's what helps you pass the mom guilt, the wife guilt, all the guilt, because we all have it. Don't think it's just you. We all have it from time to time, but wow, has my little kid, my husband, like our life has legit totally changed, like in every way because of Beachbody. Because of Beachbody. It's incredible. And it can happen for anyone. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but Danielle and I aren't like spring chickens. Like we're not the youngest coaches on the block. And
I'm due for my Botox too. So I'm showing all my stuff, right?
Yeah, like I hear it all the time. I'm too old. I don't have kids. I'm not pregnant with a baby. I don't have a before and after. It's like, oh my God, I've only gained weight since I became a coach. I'm 45. You can do it too. There's room for all of us at this table, but you have to make your own place. You have to set your own setting. You have to make your own way, and you can be there. You can be with all of us. There's no like too many. There's just like so many spots available, but you have to take it.
And we're only getting bigger. I mean, I know we're going to France in the spring, yada, yada, yada. I was trying over with the funeral and everything because I'm French and my husband's French, but I don't speak French. I was like, oh my gosh, it reminds me, I need to start brushing up on my French. But I am telling you, we are going internationally. If you were not at Summit and did not see that, we are just babies in this business. You guys are building something that is just going to grow and 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 grow. So keep at it. It's so true. It's so true. And I mean, that's why, that's why I just want to talk to you about, I hope you don't know who I am, but I'm here to tell you I'm successful. I don't need you to know who I am. Does that make sense? That's my whole, like, it's okay. It's okay. And there's so many, we are the majority. We are the majority of people who are out there doing it, being successful at it, and, never ever stop. Never, ever, ever stop that huge, huge why, that huge belief. And it's so funny because Michelle was saying, visualization, manifesting. I would manifest myself walking across the stage as a 5-star diamond coach. I would manifest the results I wanted after that program. I would manifest what I want my dream house to look like. I would manifest all of those things, what I wanted to do, my why. I would manifest, visualize that. And if that is talking about personal development, again, if that's that belief, or you being able to really believe that that's something that's possible for you, if that's something you're struggling with, then Gabriella Bernstein is definitely personal development you need to look into.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
Unwavering.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
I just love chatting and hearing everybody's stories. It's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was great to see so many faces, and I'm so excited to talk to you and your whole team next week.
And then the week after that, we're going to have cocktails.
Oh, yes, we are.
In Arizona. I still need to book my plane ticket.
No backing out.
Oh, no. I'm all registered. I'm all paid. Anyways, thank you so much, Michelle, and your incredible team of people. Thanks for having me on here. I hope I was able to add even a little bit of value and I didn't talk your ear off too much.
Not at all. It was so good. Thank you, Danielle. Good night, everybody. Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.